Welcome to Caer mortal. We have not had visitors in a very long time. What do you seek? Yes, I am Winter Fae and Halcyon is Summer Fae. That is the nature of the crossing. A representative from both courts remains here for balance. I always distrusted the Summer Fae, but it is difficult to distrust your only companion. Over the centuries, Halcyon and I have grown to rely on one another. The Keepers live to prevent use of the crossing by either Fae Empire. Its power is such that both Summer and Winter Fae have agreed to leave its power unharnessed. It is a nexus of energies, a place where magic flows infinitely. There are few such places on Amalur, and the Keepers are tasked with protecting them. I am quite skilled at sage crafting. It is one of my roles. I will aid you if you require it. Always dear Pura has stood vigil at the Circle of the Sun, awaiting the new Keepers to give them direction. It was she who led Halcyon and myself to the crossing when we first arrived in Amalur. Halcyon is my companion and a revelation. I never in my lives spoke to a Summer Fae, yet now I see that winter and summer are not so different. It is no accident that Caer is a place of great spiritual confluence. The crossing's flow of energy has influenced the landscape, shaped it as the ancients once did. To deal with the Narca curse. If Pura has given you the means to pass, then do so. You should seek out Halcyon. He will assist you in this. She is the guardian of the Crown of the Sun and a powerful sorceress, but you have defeated her. It is no wonder Florian and the others of the House of Valor have come to place their trust in you. It is where the replacement keepers go to prepare. When it is time for them to assume their posts, they enter into combat with Pura, as you did. If they survive, she brings them here, as she did with us. We Keepers routinely delve into the depths of Caer to make minute adjustments to the crossing. Find the crossing, and Halcyon will undoubtedly be nearby. Take caution in these lands, mortal.
You should feel privileged. The crossing is not a place of mortal business. You are the first to come this far. That essence of the Fellfire bloom is meant for the crossing, yes? To cure this region of the Narca curse. I will not allow it. Florian, in all his wisdom, does not see what I see. That the crossing is a solution to this long winter. No Fey empire has ever risen so. It is not the way of things. I have been using the power of the crossing to gradually tip the balance of magic in favor of the Summer Fey in Ulcerant, but this had unfortunate side effects. The crossing is tied to the magical essence of this land, and so are the Fey of this region. My tampering has driven them to madness. It is a necessary corruption. Better for a few of us to be mad than to wait for this long winter to end. Perish. I cannot allow you to interfere further. The Circle of Engard must endure my curse for as long as it takes to end this long winter. Fare you well.
I see. Halcyor's devotion to his king and court was more powerful than our friendship. That he would compromise his own kind to end the long winter is deeply unsettling. Perhaps, in the end, he'd become Narka himself. You have my thanks. Please, take these. They are imbued with Fey magic, and should aid you wherever you may go. I serve the Unseelie court. I was chosen to guard the crossing as the winter representative, to watch over its power during the long winter. The crossing has changed. I can return to Florian and report what transpired. Take caution in these lands, mortal. Your kind is particularly susceptible.
The Withering War swept across the land. Seelie and Unseelie fought each other. The House of Valor was abandoned for the battlefields of Isa and Own. Engard battled hordes as the warriors of Valor thrived on the plains of Erethel. The storm grew as they joined the war, and the Seelie threw back the invaders. When the armies of Own subsided, the Seelie returned to the land, and the House of Valar was forever changed. The conflict of the cycle waned, and the Fae now embodied the peace of sleep. Engard no longer fought, and was without purpose. The great cycle turned through the ages. Seasons passed. A mortal defeated the champion of Valar. His name was Haroth Magnus.
Prepare for a reckoning!
I can feel a change in the air. The taint of the Naka curse is rapidly dissipating. A shame it was caused by one of the Seele's own. The Circle and I will take our leave. A small number of Naka will undoubtedly remain. We will reclaim our brethren and defeat what Naka are left. Thanks to you, perhaps Alcerund will recover from the Naka after all. The Fey champion of valor, Engard, was defeated in battle years ago at the House of Valor by a Varani warrior. In accordance with Fey tradition, control of the house passed to that mortal, and the Fey were forced to leave. Exercise caution.
We are the Circle of Engard.
I'm sorry for being hysterical with you earlier. But you've saved us. Bill, be... Where the but you've saved us. Beware the forest.
Safe journey.
Can't stop now. It's good to keep working. It reminds me that I'm... Stay alert.
How's it go from that hot to this cold?
Looks like I'm in luck. Didn't expect to see so heavily armed an adventurer wandering into our camp. Are you interested in a job? I've got a fey beast situation I need taken care of. Excellent. A pack of wild fey have holed up at the canyon hill site at the top of the ledge. I've already dispatched a scholar to investigate, but he hasn't returned. You'll find him near the road towards the mine. I'll have more information for you there.
but it isn't useful for much else. The coward refuses to go near the Fae. Get to the site and figure out why those blasted things have come out of the mine. And then get rid of them. Speak to the scholar when the deed is done. He'll pay you. Oh, where are my manners? Foreman Vire at your service. This here is Motus Mining's latest outfit, and my care and charge. They were our biggest competition, and they discovered this site, actually. When we caught wind of it, we made sure to get up here with a bag of gold for each of his workers. So they promised to work for us instead, of course. Work like a charm. Poor Edgar Erin never found a way to recover from that. There's no one else to run his mine. He probably couldn't find the money to pay them even if he found new staff. If I sound proud of us, it's 'cause I am. It was a big victory for Motus. I've seen some strange things. Flickers and flashes from the top of that mountain. No idea what causes it, and I don't want none. We've got our hands full down here as it is. He's a weak-eyed, knock-kneed, biscuit-biting excuse for a scholar. But he's the one I've got, so that's that. A forsaken, wretched wasteland with more beasts than grains of sand. Still, by the domes of Odessa, I'll not see this venture fail. If it weren't for the beast lurking at our doorstep every day, I'd find this place quaint. As it is, I can barely retain my sanity. Capstan Odvar runs an inn and serves as our chief of security. I've received reports of strange happenings in those caverns. One of the workers claimed he saw horrifically scarred men wandering near Saltwell Mouth. Our scholar, Ainser, ought to be at the Canyon Hill site, getting to the bottom of this damn hold-up. He ought to be back already. If you do see him, give him a kick for me and tell him to get on with it. I've got miners just standing around not mining. Good eve.
You look well armed. Aren't you here about the Krullock? It's about the desert, killing any workers it can catch. How in blazes it developed a taste for gnome flesh, only that damn thing knows. Confound it! Between the Canyon Hill incident and that beast, our schedule's ground to a halt. You got the picture. Don't know how the damned old thing got a taste for him, but once it gets an idea, we've put a price on its hide, but who'd be crazy enough to earn it? Well, you sure? All right, it's your funeral. You should speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron Excavations. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. Edgar's lived in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. They were the first mining operation here in the Hollowlands. Foreman by the name of Edgar Aaron. Rumour has it he spent... When Motus moved in, they waved bags of gold in the faces of Aaron's workers. The next day, they all jumped ship. We don't know where it got a taste for the gnome miners, but it's been terrorising the Dunehead mine. Motus is offering a considerable bounty for its demise. Once word got out that Edgar Aaron had found this mineral-rich site, Motus rushed to get an operation set up here. I'm all the muscle they bothered to send. I'm the lone guard Motus hired to protect this place. They've given me a Chief of Security title, but that means nothing when I've got no men to command. Now we've got a Krullock that's more than a match for a small army. I know better than to go out there alone. No one knows what's at the top of Cloudcrest. I've heard the first Fae set foot in Amalur came from there. That'd explain why there are so many of them in Detir. Aaron Excavations? They're the other mining operation, especially since Motus wooed all of Aaron's mine. Speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron's Excavations. He's been in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. I'll warn you, though, Edgar's bitter about Motus. He probably finds the situation ironic now that Bloodbane is attacking June. He's the foreman of the other mine here. He knows a thing or two about the Hollowlands. Been surveying this. He ran Aaron Excavations until Motus hired his workers out from under him. It's tough, but that's business. I'm not sure what he's up to these days, but he hasn't left. Know it as well as my own calloused hand. That's why they pay me good gold to sit here. You won't find much on the surface here, but trapped below is the salvation of Odessa's future. We've the raw materials under our feet to equip entire armies, and that's why you'll find Motus mining and, such as it is, Aaron Excavations digging here. I've heard the rumours. They might be saints or bastards, but they've coin to spare, and that's enough for me. We don't have separate rooms, but we've got beds upstairs. It'll cost you, though. I've heard bizarre tales about those caves. The workers swear they've seen ghastly men, ravaged by some plague or foul magic, pacing round the entrances. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there.
Name's Alex. Alex Anatole. Let me know if you've got any. I'll get it back to you as good as new. They're Motus Mining's only competition out here. They set up shop first, actually, but they're just about finished. When Motus moved in, they lured the Erin workers with I hear the foreman, Edgar Erin, is pretty bitter about it. He still hasn't left, though. It's a dangerous region, for sure. The mining operations here have run into a real wall. Take heed and learn from their hardship. Make sure you're well equipped, and take care of your gear. I will always bring you home.
Always. I wish the Fae would get out of Canyon Hills so we can learn.
Oh, I'm in a terrible bind. I don't dare go forward, and I certainly can't go back. Mind you, I wouldn't go up that eastern ledge. It's most unsafe. Yes. Well, no. I got 10 paces up the slope when I spotted those Fae. What's a scholar to do against hordes of vicious beasts? One of those boggarts. It shook its fist. Yes, and find out what's wrong. Now that I've found it, and have no desire to investigate further. Well, if you were willing to go first, I would have no objection to trailing behind. Oh yes, our stalwart foreman. It's a place of mystery and intrigue. No one knows what lurks at... Scholar of mineralogy, Motus Mining, and unwitting adventurer. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, I'm sure. Edessa could not have been built without the Motus Mining interest. I've heard tales of... I don't care why they're there. I just don't want... To the Canyon Hills, where a cadre of Fae awaits... Lead the way. Up the slope we go. There they are. Dispatch them before they attack me. yet to discover a reason for their presence. The mining site's at the top.
Another, come to steal the light, come to trouble the reverie. They are my friends, drawn here as I drift between the dream world and the world of the waking. The light, source of solace, snuck in, sharp knives, soft feet, stole the jewel from my side. Took it northward, through the narrow rocks, to their village of wood and cloth. I long to return to the reverie. While Calavar walks the sands, I must sleep. He and I are two, where there once were many. We lived then wild on dune and crag. Now he watches the waking day, and I tend to the dreaming murmurs of the stone. When I became aware the light was gone, the shell of the reverie cracked, and my dream self wandered free. Long, long ago, I wandered lost in the dark of night. I cried a pool into a rocky basin, and starlight gathered there. I fashioned this into a jewel, and by its light found my way home. Is it any wonder that I hold it so dear?
It's beginning to make sense. This Fey maiden is real, but I believe we're speaking to a projection of her as she dreams. There is a Fey hollow under this mine, where I'll wager she sleeps. And these other Fey, they're drawn to the power of this projection. Restoring to her this light she speaks of might calm things down. Find me at the Motus mining office when you return it to her. I'll make sure you're duly compensated. No, I feel quite certain. The maiden we see and these other wild Fey. In ancient times, the desert had no shade. The sun burned the land to ruin.
I watch them day by day, their foolish, meddling scampering to separate one piece of earth from a slightly different piece of earth. Fae know that the land will endure, will heal any wounds mortals can inflict. But I worry that these wounds may be long to heal. I cannot act, I am bound by our beliefs. But an agent of change could cauterize these wounds by making the century plants bloom. Oh, I cannot make them bloom, not now. When the time is right, one Fey whisper will do. You mortals are not bound as we are. You can grow such things out of season. You wouldn't know with these little mortals here, but these lands are a Fey place. And Fey places need refreshing from time to time. The blooming of the century plants is the fastest route of recovery. The century plants have deep ties to the pulse and marrow of the land. Their breath wakens the desert, causes the rocks to stir and grow. A friend of the sands. You'll do what needs doing. You will need petrichor. Here's a skinful I have gathered. But first, you must ready the plant with fire. Only after fire will they drink the petrichor. There are 3 century plants in this land just now. Make all 3 bloom, and all will be well. For each of the 3 upon the sands, scorch it with fire, then slake it with the petrichor I gave you. Have you met her? Fair and dark as the night itself. She will sleep until my time is past. Then I will lie down and dream while she walks the sands. I shepherd the surface while Aurenda... I await the day when I may lay down to rest as Aurenda does, beneath the sands. The mortal's growing influence in this world wearies me. Normally they blossom only every 100 years. The land stirs and wakens, and what was worn away rejuvenates. That is the way of things. In ages past, we danced in circles on the dunes and sang sweet songs to the distant peaks. Now I alone walk here, while Aurenda dreams in reverie below. The smell of the earth after rain. I have gathered it over years in that skin. The little mortals, you mean? Forever cutting, clearing, digging, will they never stop? Won't they tire of it and go away? Farewell.
The light! Return to me! Did you do this? The blessings of the thorn and shadow be upon your head, little mortal. Now leave me to the reverie, and the deep shadow and the far wind sighs. I long to return to the reverie. While Calavar walks the sands, I must sleep. This is home, the place of power. I can feel the mortal's presence above, chipping away at the land. Calavar will not be pleased. Now I have the light, the reverie will be untroubled. Now leave me be, little one. Leave me be. Ah.
Then the winged Saina, the mediator of earth and sky, came from Ishara. She beheld the suffering desert and swooped down upon the hollow lands. Her feathers shaded the scorching sands. Her wings cooled the broken ground. Her tears fell to the dust where rivers were born. land flourished under her gentle plumes. As life returned to the burnt expanse, the people crawled from their caves and saw a majestic silhouette against the open sky. They praised Saina and worshipped her likeness. She replied with a call that still echoes on the wind. Helios heard the call, and looking down upon the desert, grew irritated. His mighty works were undone, and his brilliance spurned. He called Freka to his side, and implored the fiery god to strike Saina from the skies. Freka agreed, but as Saina was too strong, he asked Helios to lend him some of his fire as well. So Helios gave Freka the flames of the sun.